Welcome. We're going to talk about cards, and that's a big topic for us because the entire concept of the word Kanban stands for visual card. So when you work in our system and designing your system, you're going to be leveraging these cards everywhere. So let's start at the beginning by just adding a card. If you're in the Kanban zone, right, so this one, you will see your Kanban board and will see the ability to click Add Card. If you do, you can just type a name for your card and click Add, and you've added a card. It's that simple. So that's the first way to add a card. The second way is if you're in another zone. For example, if I'm in the calendar zone and I have an idea for a card and I just want to put it in there. I'm just going to click Add Card. You'll see the exact same menu, but here I'll ask you the extra question of, well, which board would you like to put it on? Well, it deselects the one you just came from, which works for me. It asks you which column because it doesn't know since you didn't click on a specific column. And the same information is here. So I'll call this card number 2 and I'll put this one in the later column and add it. So you don't see the card here because I'm still in the calendar zone, but if I go back here, right, in the Kanban view, that second card has been added. So adding a card is very simple from anywhere here or anywhere here in Kanban Zone. Now, let's see what a card is all about. If I click on a card, right, and I look at it, this is what you will see. You will see a representation of all the information you can put on a card. It starts with the ability to put a title, then a description, and we're talking rich text description here. As you can see with the toolbar, you can put videos, you can put images, this is a rich text editor. And there is what we call presence and collaboration in real time, which means if multiple people are trying to work in the description at the same time, just like a collaboration document, you will have all the people lined up and know exactly who's on the card, and you'll be able to work at the same time, seeing exactly where people are on the card. So the description is extremely powerful. Then you start going into all the different elements. Now, each element can be expanded, right? So I can expand them all right here. And so these are all the elements. I can also collapse them back, which I'll do in a second, and I can also move them around. So custom field, usually I like them on the right. So I'm going to move it on the right. I prefer them there. That's just a preference. My metrics, I do like them also on the right, so I'll move them here. And that's how you manage your cards. So each user can decide exactly how they want to see their card and keep open whatever they had last open, so that if I leave a card and I'm trying to, I don't know, I was playing with a checklist and I say, hey, let's put some tasks in here. And I'm just going to put a few tasks in this one. If I close the card and I come back, now you can see I have my tasks that have been added here. If I open back, then whatever section I left open remains open. So this is how we built it. We built it to make it extremely flexible by letting you do whatever you want in terms of the layout, but also the ability to remember what you typically have open so that we can save you a little bit of time. So checklist, I've already showed it to you pretty quickly. This is where you'll be able to assign tasks, give them your owners, put a due date on these tasks, convert them, etc. There are so many options here that you can do with our checklist. More importantly, you can have multiple checklists. So this would be, you know, design tasks. So you'd have design tasks, and it would be task number 4 and 5. And then you would move this down. So I would move it down. So please know that when we say checklists, we mean you can have multiple on a card, and each of them, right, is tracked individually here on the card. So I've completed 2 and 1 right here. If I close the card, it'll tell me, hey, you just have 3 done and 5 total, but those 2 are the ones that are still open. So short story here, tasks are very powerful. They permit you to have multiple checklists and have all your tasks in them. We then move to comments. Comments are exactly what you would expect, the ability to add a card or a board, all the members of a board, or a specific individual. So as soon as you do that, you'll be able to type a message and save your comment. The one thing that I'm very proud about the way we do it here is we do them threaded. So if someone replies to you, right, we immediately give you threaded information. So if I add another comment here, right, you'll see that this comment is separate from this one. This one has its own threads that are going on here. So these are responses to this one, and one would have its own thread also if you had more replies. So the idea here is that you can, just like checklist, you can have multiple checklists or multiple common threads. Moving along, links. Well, if you want to link to another card, so in this case, I've got one other card on the board, card number 2, I could, and you can also link to other boards, right? So to find cards on all your other boards, right now I'm sticking to my current board. But the concept of linking means that you can select one of these 4 types to connect your cards together. So for example, I'm going to say card number 2 is a successor of card number 1, which means now that card number 2 right here, if I click it here, I'm on card number 1. And as you can see, this one has an arrow going to the left because it's has a predecessor, right, in card number 1. And if I click now on card 2, card has an arrow going to the right because it is the successor of the other one. So the concept here is that we give you ways to link vertically by doing parent-child relationship, which is more of a hierarchy. And then we give you more of a dependency linking going left to right between predecessor and successor. So very powerful, quick way to connect and also manage work together. On the right side, and remember, you don't have to have these on the right side. You can have them however you want by drag and dropping all these elements, are our custom fields. So custom fields are extremely powerful. If I want to add some in here, I'll add priority level, I'll add department, and I'll add ROI. Those are pre-built custom fields. As soon as I add them and I come back here, you will see that in this card, if I click here, you will see now that I have these custom fields and I can now use them and put information in them. So custom fields are very, very powerful. I'm going to keep on moving and go to attachments. Well, attachments can be done from your favorite cloud solution like Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, or you can attach from a URL. You can attach from your computer. You can attach from a clipboard item, whatever you have in your clipboard. So this one's actually pretty powerful. If I were to find an image online, and simply do a paste here, you'd be able to see it immediately here in the attachment. So attachment is very, very flexible to make it fast for you to share information with members of your team. I'm giving you an overview of the card, right? So I have other videos where I go deeper in each of these components, but right now I'm just browsing through all of them to give you a sense of what you have. Blocking, very powerful, waiting on X. As soon as I, or Z, as soon as I do that, I know exactly who blocked it, at what time and date, and know what happened. I could unblock it. And if you go here, you'll see that the blocking reason is very visible on the card, as are all the things that I'm doing now on this card. You can see that now I have 5 comments. I have 5 tasks. I have 1 link card, right? The more I interact inside the card, the more you're going to start seeing visually on the card on the board all this information coming to life. So I'm going to keep going and we're going to move to dates. So we give you the sense of a start date and an end date. So if you put today and you're going to end tomorrow, that's your plan. But we keep you honest by saying, well, let's show you exactly what really happened. We'll tell you from system when you really started the card. And for us, starting a card is moving it at least in a in progress column, right? So an in progress column. And as you saw, as I moved it there, because those 2 cards are linked, there was a change of color here. So if I move it to a buffer column, an orange column, right, you see how its linked card keeps track of each other just through these simple colors of, are you in blue state, right, very beginning state, very cold? Are you warming up? Are you kind of waiting on people, or are you done? And now we've got the confettis and all, right? So the idea is that these cards, the more you add information, the more they come to life and track everything you need. So I'm going to keep going into this card. So we've got our date, and as you can see, the actual date actually matches the planned date because I actually moved the card immediately into in progress. Therefore, it's very happy right now that I've started the card. Mirror is very intense. This is a very powerful feature where you can select any other board, right? So if I select another board, my automation board, I could mirror this card so that it lives in complete sync between the 2 boards. And the only thing that would be different is the label, because the label is different between board. and the owner because the members are different between board. But apart from owners, right, members, and the labels, everything you will do on this card will be 100% sync between one or multiple boards. So I could mirror on the automation board. I can also mirror on the card template board. And now suddenly this card lives on 3 board, this one and 2 other ones. And this is a whole feature on its own that helps you collaborate across board and let every team go at their own pace. I'll just leave it at that for now. Mirrors is wonderful. Moving along. Metrics. Now, this card doesn't have a lot of metrics. It's got a little bit. It lived 8 minutes in the to-do column. It lived a minute in a buffer column. And so far, the entire cycle time, which, by the way, is the time spent in progress, is only 1 minute. And it's been blocked for 1 minute also. So as you can see, I barely played with this card, but the data is already starting to come in to show me what is going on with this card. And our metrics are through the roof when it comes to tracking your card information or any information in Kanban Zone. This last component here is your history. So not only did it track all the quick action you took, but you have an audit log that will go even deeper and really give you a full audit of exactly who did what and when. The few things left to show you are the actions you can take. So you can move a card across different boards or different columns on these boards. You can copy cards. You can save cards as template, which is a whole other feature where you can take a card that you feel has become very pattern that you can use again and save it as a template so that the next time you create a card, you can use it. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do this one for the fun of it. I'm going to say, hey, fun template, and I will save it as a template to show you what I mean. So I'm going to save everything. So those are the things I can include in a template. I'll save it as a template. And here's my template. I'm actually going to close this and show you that now this fun template that's right here, I can actually use it that when I click add card, I now have my fun template. Remember earlier I said I would show you this? Well, there it is. If you created a template, you can use it and just click fun template, add your card. And as you can see, whatever was part of that template, is now available immediately, saving me a whole bunch of time because all these things were already part of the template. So I went a little bit intense on you. I just wanted to show you that this is what Save Template is. Absolute time saver to standardize the way you work. You can then choose to archive or delete your card. And I've showed you your card options where you can drag and drop information around. We always tell you which column you're in and what color it is, right? These colors are very important. And we've got an ID that is unique to each card. The last couple of options are right here. You can add cards to my focus. That's part of my zone and the ability to select certain cards that you want to kind of favorite and also work specifically on to stay focused. And we have these tokens. So I don't have any tokens here, but I can quickly show you what they are. If I add a token, I would just add a token. I would pick a symbol. I'll go aliens. Those ones are easy. I would say this is my alien token. I would save it. And now I have a way to add an alien token to the card, which I'm doing right now. And as you can see, I've got a token on my card. So I hope you're getting a feel about what these cards are all about. I mean, this card is getting pretty intense. And I'll show you one last thing. I'm actually going to find an image online. I'm going to look for an image of I don't know, a cloud. I'm just going to look for a cloud. That's what came to mind. And I'm going to find an image and I'm going to copy it to my paste to my clipboard so that it'll make it easy. So I'm just going to do copy image. You're not seeing what I just did, but I just did copy image. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in my card. I'm actually going to do Control V on my keyboard, which is the same thing as doing paste from clipboard. So I'll do Control V so that you see I'm not doing anything. Well, I'm not clicking with my mouse, but my left hand is going to do Control V. And as you can see, it brought in a picture that I found online. And now this can be used as an attachment on my card. And I can set it as a cover to make it even more pretty. So now I've made this card really have everything you could imagine on a card. It's got an image, it's got a token, it's got a title, it's currently blocked, it is mirrored and clearly shown as mirrored, it's got comments, it's got attachments, right? I forgot some of the basic stuff, in fact. I could have put myself as the owner, right? This is something that will show up here. The dates are here. Everything that we've been talking about is all here. So when we mean visual card, we mean visual card. And I hope this is giving you some information about how easy it is in Kanban Zone to create those cards and then use them by entering all this information. And I've only scratched the first surface and to show you what we can do with these cards. I hope this is helpful. We have much more videos where we go into specific areas that I've showed you today to give you more detail, but this was just to give you the overview of what is a visual card in Kanban Zone. I hope you enjoyed it.